Hey guys, what's going on? Today we are going into MyFitnessPal and we are learning how to basically follow our macros and hit our protein targets. Those are the two things that, and staying within our calories. Those are the three things I think that, when someone is trying to lose weight or gain weight and gain muscle, hitting those three things. So staying within your calories, getting in protein, and then just getting those three numbers right, your protein, fat, and carbs. Those are the three things that I find are what people struggle with. So right now I'm on the desktop version of MyFitnessPal. So you likely use MyFitnessPal on your phone, but what I'll be talking about, I'll be talking about the foods and the numbers, and really how to use the app. So it doesn't really matter that I'll be on the computer and you'll be on your phone. So, or maybe you use the computer, but I think most people use the phone. If you haven't tried the computer version, it's actually really great. It's just you're probably not always near a computer when you're eating and you're tracking your... So I like to sit down and make meal plans with it. So I'm going to use a client, honestly, this is the last... I'm not tracking my calories and macros right now, but the last meal plan I made for someone was 1,700. I think this was a few days ago or last week. So we'll use 1,700. Some people, maybe your number is 2,400, maybe your number is 3,800. But this client was on 1,700. So I've likely, if you're a client, you're watching this, I've given you a meal plan. But maybe you're watching this because, I've given you a certain meal plan and you're like, how do I eat anything but this plan because I don't really understand food? And that's what we're going to go over today. So where I would personally start, and this is, I think, how I approach a lot of things in life. I can't really explain it. It's more high level and get the non-negotiables and things out of the way that are going to happen, and then we'll fill in the blanks after, because that's kind of what this MyFitnessPal is like, tracking your calories and stuff like that. It's kind of like Tetris. So I find I'll use me as an example, and then I'll try and once I start creating it, I'll say but if you're like this, then you can do this. If you're like this, then you can do this. But I think a lot of people are like me where, we do eat a lunch and a dinner. Sometimes we skip breakfast. If we have breakfast, maybe it's A or B, and then snacks either throughout the day or at night. So let's get started. So a lot of people, I would say, have a lunch and a dinner. Some people skip breakfast, so I'll say a lunch and a dinner. There's no other really way around. You can have a lunch or a dinner completely bare of protein if you want, and that's totally fine. There are no there are some rules, but you can have a lunch or dinner with zero protein in it. But if you want to hit your protein targets, then you're going to have to get that protein somewhere else. So again, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that you, like me, eat protein for lunch and dinner. So I'm going to go with chicken. But you can also have any kind of protein. So if you're vegetarian or vegan, you could do tofu, protein powder. You can even have Greek yogurt for dinner. But again, I'm going to go with a common chicken. I might do beef or whatever. But let's go. So I'm going to add food, and you know how to do that again on your phone. I'm actually going to do another training about how to use MyFitnessPal on your phone. So if you don't, sorry, go watch that training. But yeah, set up your MyFitnessPal. You should watch this if you have MyFitnessPal set up. So let's add chicken for lunch. Simple. I'm going to eat chicken for lunch. So I'm going to go in, and I'm not going to teach you how to use this. This is the computer, but on your phone. So I'm going to add 6 ounces of chicken. 6 ounces of chicken for lunch. A lot of people eat the same thing for lunch and dinner, but I'm going to go out on a limb and do... A lot of people say they like fish, so let's do salmon. So salmon is not here, so I have to search for it. Search salmon. I'm going to go with Costco. A lot of people, and it's 1 portion. So I don't eat a lot of fish. But it's 37 grams of protein, and the chicken was 33, and the chicken was a 6 ounce. I don't know what 1 portion is, but it seems to be in line with, the serving size of chicken. So we've actually already done 490 of our 1,700. So what's that? Doing that math, that's about a third. So we're already a third done, and we've just put in our proteins, right? 1,700 isn't a lot of calories, so either way. Now I'm going to say the next thing that I would do is vegetables. The reason why is vegetables are healthy. You should always eat your veggies. They're high in nutrients, and they're very low in calories, and they're going to help fill you up. So I'm going to put in asparagus. 8 spears, whatever. Let's go. Sure, 8. You're going to notice it's not going to make a lot of a difference. So 8 spears of asparagus, and this doesn't say how it's cooked, but it doesn't matter. It's literally 26 calories. Like, I might as well not even added it. But yeah, track everything. And then for dinner, let's say with salmon, let's say we have broccoli. 3 cups is what I usually give a client when I'm making a new meal plan, because it's like, I don't know, I'm just picturing putting little broccoli florets, is that what they're called, in a little measuring cup and putting them on my plate, about 3 cups, whatever. So you'll notice that 93 calories, the difference between 2 cups and 3 cups, or 3 cups and 4 cups, is like 2,500 or 25 calories. So it's, again, not a big deal. But now we have a significant lunch and dinner. Like, I could eat a 6-ounce chicken with some asparagus and feel, well, maybe you want some rice, but okay, so let's go, because we're already now still a third, just above a third, almost halfway of our calories. So let's say, what do we do now? So some people skip breakfast, but I'm going to say we're not skipping breakfast. So if you regularly eat breakfast, I would say you have like kind of 2 options. You can either go savory or dessert. And I say that to say that breakfast is one of those things. It's Greek yogurt is really the thing that I'm talking about, or like a chia pudding kind of thing. You can have yogurt or something else for lunch or dinner, but I find that breakfast is one of those foods where like yogurt is appropriate. And if you add fruit, or you have like a low sugar flavored yogurt for breakfast, it's kind of like a cheat, like it's a dessert, right? So, but I'm gonna go with eggs. Again, you could go protein powder. You can also do a protein shake, or you can do eggs, protein shake, or Greek yogurt are, I think, the 3 main ways that you can go. Some people eat turkey, some people eat cottage cheese, so those are other options, but what was I doing? I was adding eggs. So let's go 2 eggs, and that's not all I'm going to add for now. Okay, so down here, if I'm using the computer version, I can already see, so this is kind of like the point of this. So on the computer version, I can already see how we're doing in regards to the percentages, and so you can as well on your phone. I'll teach you how to do that in a separate training on your phone, but so you want to go into your macros and see how you're doing. So I've already added my protein and some veggies for lunch and dinner, and I've added my protein, the eggs, as well. Eggs have a little bit of fat, so let's see how we're doing. We're likely going to have a lot of protein, not a lot of carbs, because there's no carbs here, aside from the vegetables, which isn't a lot, and there's some fats, so that's not surprised. So 48% protein, 39% fat, 13% carbs. So we're aiming for about 40% protein, 30% fat, 30% carbs. So since we've already put in so this is half. We've put in half of our calories, and now look at our percentages. So obviously we need to get our carbs up and our protein down and our fat down. So now we have to go in, and with the half of the calories we have left, we need to add some more carbs, while keeping in mind that we're likely going to need to add some more protein, because this 48, we don't want it to go below 40. You know what I mean? We don't want to add too many carbs, then this number is 27. So let's add, I'm going to assume that someone eating this day is going to want some carbs before, or somewhere early on. So 2 eggs, we could add a piece of toast. So let's go toast. Oh, toast, sorry. I mean, that's probably a thing, but let's go bread. So rye bread is a good bread. So let's go 2 slices. This might be too much. So this is where even I consider myself like expert at this, still sometimes have to like add and then be like, oh, that was too much. So I've added carbs. We know bread is carbs. So I've added 2 slices of bread, and now let's see. Our carbs went, what was it before? 13%. Now it's 24. So we're on our way. See, protein is already down to 42. We don't want it to go too much lower. So I feel like we're already going to have to add, I just know we're going to have to add some. So you're going to probably want to put something on this bread. So a little bit of butter. I don't know. I don't usually do this. I just said butter. Where's butter? Raw peanut. Okay, let's do peanut butter. Add some more fats. So let's go 1 tablespoon of peanut butter, but on 2 slices of bread, that's not going to make sense. So let's try 2. Hopefully that's not too much. Oh, I didn't add. Peanut butter, 2 tablespoons. Add. Okay. That added our fats too high. Okay, whatever. So we'll just work from here. So I've given you a tablespoon of peanut butter for each slice of bread, and you have 2 eggs. One thing that I should note here, is important for this training, is that you can add salt and pepper because there's 0 calories. You can add a lot of condiments like hot sauce, mustard, and you don't need to put them into MyFitnessPal, honestly, because there's 0 calories. So sometimes I don't put celery or cucumber because it's literally like almost 0 calories. So I would dress this up how you want. And then let's see. So what are we lacking? Let's keep going. Carbs. So we're still lacking carbs. Honestly, I find that I actually put carbs last because the protein, I said at the beginning, the protein is the non-negotiable. So I put the protein in for lunch and dinner. I put the protein in for breakfast. I was like, okay, now we're going to need to introduce some carbs somewhere. So I put some earlier on in the day because carbs kind of give you that energy and also fill you up, right? So I wanted to give you some in the thing, and now so we have some more. So we have 2 options because honestly I know this because I know this. When you start to put carbs in, it's going to add up like sort of really fast. So I personally find that you could either do like a cup of rice for lunch and dinner or eat carbs for snacks. And we all see carbs as snacks is also, for me, I will admit, and I think for a lot of people, one of the non-negotiables. Like, can you really eat like 3 square meals a day and like not have a snack? Like, it's just like, I feel like we're conditioned. So I'm gonna add a snack because I'm gonna assume a lot of people, and like if I'm your coach, you're likely come to me because maybe you indulge in a lot of snacks and you want to lose weight. So, I don't think we necessarily need to give up snacks. So popcorn is a really is a really great snack because especially if you air pop it in an air popper, it's very low in calories for what you get. And then also rice cakes. So I just searched the word popcorn and obviously I've already put this in for people. So we can either do air popped popcorn or rice cakes. Let's do rice cakes. I forget, I already have 4 in here, so that might be a good number. So let's see how much that gives us. 4 rice cakes was 140 calories. That's not bad at all. And side note, you can make rice cakes a lot more exciting. Like you can, well, I don't do this very often. I used to, but with certain spices and stuff, like I used to buy Parmesan garlic powder for popcorn and put it on my rice cakes and stuff like that. It's kind of weird, but whatever. So, okay, look at our ratios. So I just added rice cakes after adding the peanut butter, and we are at 35, 30, 35. Cute numbers, like all rounded. By the way, we are 12 minutes into this training. This is my first training that I've ever done that I'm adding to the Facebook group. I'm going to try and wrap this up on around 15 to 20 minutes or less. So we are on pace because we're almost done. So look, let's do a quick check-in. 1240 out of 1700. So we have about 500 to go still. So, and then see, again, this is another example of you've put in some stuff. This is where you're at. Where do we need to go? So our ratios are actually pretty close and we have 500 calories left. So that tells me if I want my percentages to stay the way they are while putting in the rest of my 500 calories, then my 500 calories obviously has to reflect 40% protein, 30% fat, 30% carbs. So if I go into my brain and I remember what foods have those qualities that I like, again, let's actually pretend this is me. So I'm going to totally just be me for a second. So 2 eggs in the morning with 2 slices of bread and peanut butter. Okay, I could do that. And then what else would I have? Well, we're forgetting for me and for maybe for you, protein powder after the gym. That's just something that I always do. So let's add that in. Can never have too much protein because if your protein is higher than 40, I actually don't care. So isolate protein. So I'm not going to talk about protein in this training. 2 scoops of isolate protein. So it's straight protein. I might make that 1 scoop, but we'll see. So I'm adding it in. We are pretty close. So we only have 200 calories left. If you know anything about calories, like let's see, like it's not a lot. That's 2 slices of bread. That's all we have left, so we should be really careful. My protein is at 42, so adding those 2 scoops of protein was not a bad idea because I have 200 calories left. When I add them in, this protein 42 is going to go down, likely, because I don't know how much more protein I'm going to add. So with 200 calories left, I need to add, what is it? I guess it's straight carbs, to be honest, but not too many. So I have to add exactly 180 calories worth of carbs. I have given you, or myself, no carbs for lunch and dinner. So for me, I can do that, no problem. But I'm going to say, let's say the average person is like, really? I don't want to do that. So why don't we add quinoa or rice? Let me think. What is a low calorie dense carb? Let's go potatoes. Potato? Oh, I've never added a potato for the lunch before. So let's go potato. Oh, let's go sweet potato. Sweet potato. Search. 1 medium, 5-inch long. Let's go 1 cup. How do we do this? I will say I know grams really well. So let's go sweet potato steamed. And let's go, actually, let's do 100 grams. That's not really a lot. 86. Okay, so I was actually kind of right that sweet potato they're lower in calories than I remember. Okay, so I'm going to go with 39, 34, 27. So now we're lacking fat. So actually, I'm going to say, I'm actually going to call it. So we're good. Like, we're stopping. So this is the meal plan, and it might look a little weird, but again, you can I haven't put any condiments or salt and pepper or anything like this. There's no flavoring whatsoever. So last thing I'll say in this training is, yeah, this is how I would make a meal plan for my client, or if I were you. And then this looks on paper boring, but again, there's no, I keep saying condiments, but spices, and then spices, condiments, salt, pepper, garnishes, like all that, marinades, like to a point. Because marinade is a way that you can make this grilled chicken like teriyaki or lemon herb or whatever, but just be cautious of when you add oil or when you add ketchup or like anything to a marinade if you're putting it in a Ziploc bag like I do. Other than that, this is just the base. So again, your spices, your salt, your condiments, your salt and pepper, all that stuff is a way that you can make this meal plan more exciting. But yeah, so you wake up, you have 2 eggs, with 2 slices of bread with 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. Awesome. I would probably have a coffee, a water, some lemon juice, or like lemon water or whatever. And then these, so we're lacking a little bit of fat. To be honest, let's just add a couple almonds, see how much we can add before we finish it, because we do have some calories left over. 1 almond. Let's go, we had, I don't know, 10 almonds. It's not a lot, but whatever. We do have those calories. We're 44 over. Pretty close. Okay, whatever. I was looking at this again. I'm like, do I have enough snacks? Because I like to snack. So between breakfast and then it's lunchtime, yay. So 6 ounce, I'm visualizing. So 6 ounces of chicken, asparagus, and sweet potato. Great lunch. Wait a little bit of time, and then it's dinner time. 1 portion of salmon with 3 cups of broccoli. This looks the most bare bones of them all, but again, if you do it right, you can make this more exciting with condiments, spices, and all that stuff. And then throughout the day and in the evening, we can have 4 rice cakes, 2 scoops of protein powder, probably 1 after the gym, and then maybe 1 if you're just kind of like, maybe that was between lunch and dinner, a scoop of protein powder and some water or some almond milk, or protein powder, almond milk, and ice in a blender. That's exciting, sort of. And then our almonds. So I admit, maybe like in hindsight, I shouldn't have done this training on 1,700 calories, but some of you are eating 1,700 calories. If you're maybe like 160 pounds and you don't move very often and you want to lose 10 pounds of fat, like this is likely, 1,700 calories is likely for you. I did make this for someone the other day. But if you have 2,400 calories or 2,800 calories, like you have more calories to play with, but yeah, so being in a deficit, you might be a little bit hungry here and there, but there are some foods that, like the rice cakes and protein powder and the vegetables that we have in this meal plan, that are going to help you feel full throughout the day. So I would say this is a lot of food on 1,700 calories. I'm trying to be really wise with what food choices I used here. So anyway, I'm looking at the time here, and we're just coming up on 20 minutes. This is, again, my first training that I did, just how to make a meal plan after I've given one to you, and you're like, I don't want to eat this forever. How do I make a meal plan after looking at the one that Mike gave me? How do I make one for myself, again, in the second phase of this? Maybe you're 1 month into my coaching and you're like, you've been using my structure, but you kind of want to create a new structure for you. This is really my process. So I hope you found this valuable. I don't know how I'm going to post this in the group, but if you found some value and I end up posting it in the group in such a way, I want you to drop some comments below. Drop a comment and let me know your biggest takeaway from this training. If I post it in such a way where that's not possible, I'm sorry, you don't have to do that, but I think I'm going to post this in the group and make it a post and put it as a guide so that it can be watched later. And so if you watch this, leave a comment below with your biggest takeaway. So I hope you have a great day, and let's chat soon. See ya.